think part of the secret to longevity with us is the fact that we don't see each other every day, so when we get together, it's fresh again.
The birth of it starts usually in Brett's studio at his house and Greg's studio at his house. Even though they're on two different coasts, with technology, they're able to file share and bounce that back and forth.
I'll come up with ideas for songs, like, oh, that'd be a good idea for a song, or that's a cool song title for a song, or that's a cool theme for a song. And I'll just jot down little notes to myself about, hey, write a song about this. And so, like right now, I've got about 24 notes about little ideas to write songs about, right? So that's kind of how I know when it's time to sit down and start writing them. Because then I'll start jamming out music, and I'll go, hey, that feels like some cool music.
I usually get together with Brett with his songs because he likes having a live drummer demo his songs, and I'm a stone's throw away from his house. So I'll go there for a couple weeks and just kind of jam out.
We do a lot of collaborative work via FedEx. I come into this room and I grab a guitar usually, and I usually sit down on this little stool right here, and the chords are oftentimes jotted down in my notebook. So this is kind of the notebook room. It's where the original ideas are formulated. This little wall box here goes straight down to the studio, so we can do stereo recordings in this room. Go out and have a bite. After a song has been sketched out acoustically, I try to get it recorded as quickly as possible, and nowadays that happens in a room like this. Ideas are sketched electronically as quickly as possible, and luckily we've got something that can help us nowadays, the computer. I painted the walls to reflect one of my favorite places in the world, In-N-Out Burger. So you can see that the colors make me very hungry and desirous of something sensual.
Once we have what we think is enough songs to make up a good album, then we start rehearsing with the group. We teach them the songs.
The songwriters will come to the band and present a demo. Sometimes it's really raw, and sometimes it's pretty laid out, and then we get together and do some pre-production and add our own little touches to it.
Our music is song-based. So, in other words, it's not style-based per se. You could take a BR song and play it on piano, you know what I mean? And you can play in whatever style, you know what I mean? So the songs kind of hold up over the years. You can go back and listen to a BR song from 5 years ago, or 10 years ago, or 15 years ago, and you can sing along with it. Music that's too style-based, than like electronic music, which I love. 3 years later, it's like, whoa, those sounds are so dated, But our music has nothing to do with the sounds. It's to do with the songs, the melodies and the words,
As far as songs, with the message, and I know the other guys will agree with me, what Greg was singing about in 1980 is still relative now. It comes down to good songwriting.
Greg Graffin is responsible for the longevity of the band because he has been the common denominator all the way through it. And he's the voice of the band, and he's a songwriter in the band, and he's the image of the band. And as members have come and gone through the years, he wasn't perturbed. He just kept it going.
The first thing you should want to be in a band for is to have a community. Music is a wonderful community, and it's a wonderful place to find like-minded friends. And gigs should not be about how much money are we making or turning it into a business entity. It should be about how can I play a role in this gathering, and can we leave this gathering feeling more uplifted than we did when we came into it.
Some bands go into it with the goal of, yeah, we're going to start a band, we're going to write a hit, we're going to make a living, we're going to be rich, this and that. And I think if you don't set your goals too high, just have just try to do your best. I think that's really best advice, not to have too many expectations or force anything.
I think in this day and age, there's way too much immediate gratification, where, as you were saying, bands are breaking up all the time. Yeah, they're breaking up because, you know, they're not on Fuse by, you know, a year's time. So, you know, I think it just comes down to, you know, having the passion.
We all came from the same mold of, let's take the style of music we think is missing in the world and present it the way we want it, and not thinking about if it's going to be commercially successful. It's just because this is what we feel is right in our hearts and what's wrong with the world of the music business.
My advice for young bands are, first of all, you should make it be about the music, right? A good song should have something universal. Even if you're writing about a haircut, but the song shouldn't be about a haircut. It should be about the feeling you get when you get a new haircut.
Right.
Because haircuts are going to go out of style, but the experience of personal transformation is universal, right? So look for that kernel of truth. Look for that thing that's universal and write about that, because songs last longer than people.
Sometimes we don't, you know, take our own advice, but communication is one of it, is one of the things that's important, and having direction, but also not giving up too easily, because a lot of bands would just, you know, quit before it can evolve into something that could be something, you know, important.
Stick with each other. Don't have a revolving door of band members, right? Because you'll never be a real band,
Right.
right? It might be hard to be a real band, and I might have left my band and come back a couple times, but the fact is they're my band. I was never in any other band, you know? Bad Religion is us, you know, and so that takes time. You know, it takes time to cultivate that. And what after a while, what happens is, you know how each other think, you know how each other play, you start having an idea of what you are, and you become a thing.